Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Murray's, the English Training Institute. We have a listening task for you. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you have to answer on the basis of what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will get a chance to check your answers after each section. The audio will be played once only. The test is in 2 sections, and you will get 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers. You will hear a conversation between Ashita and Yati. They are discussing a field trip for the following week. You have some time to read questions 1 to 14. So here we begin section 1. Hi Ashita, how are you?
I am fine, thank you, Yati. I was going to ping you tonight. It's good I ran into you. I wanted to remind you about the field trip. It will be a 3-day trip the next week.
What field trip are you talking about?
Did your professor not inform you?
No, not really.
The field trip is to the Konya Dam and the water treatment plant. It is a mandatory trip for the first year students who have enrolled for the science courses. Didn't you know about it?
No, I would have missed this information in case I hadn't met you. This is a news to me. Give me the details, please.
Oh, sure. We have to meet outside the library next Monday at 7 in the morning or 7:45 a.m. at the bus station as the course departs at 8 o'clock.
All right. Do you have any idea how long does it take to get to this place?
Well, once we are on the coach, it would take 3 hours and might take approximately 4 hours during our return journey due to evening traffic.
Okay. And what's the purpose of the trip?
You get the course outline. You don't seem to know anything about the course.
Yes, actually, I joined the course 2 weeks late.
Well, we spent the first day visiting the dam, and it would be really interesting to see the dam functioning, like how much they regulate the water supply each day and the process of generation of hydroelectricity.
If this is a 3-day trip, where are we staying?
They do have some overnight cabins at youth hostel near the dam for the visitors.
What about the meals? Should we take our own food along?
No, you don't need to do that, for the nearby hostel provides breakfast and dinner, and we can find a cheap place to buy an afternoon meal near the hostel.
So, is this the only dam that provides water to Sydney?
There are a couple of other dams too, but this is the main one.
All right, with population of over 4.5 million people, I suppose we do use thousands of liters each day.
Absolutely. In fact, according to my notes, they supply water which is stored in 262 reservoirs, and each day we use enough water to fill 800 Olympic swimming pool.
What is the activity that we are going to do on a second day?
We will go to the water plant to see how to purify the water for drinking.
Oh, that should actually be quite interesting. I'll bring my camera along.
Yes, that's important as we are to include the original photos in our assignments, and don't forget to bring a notebook and a pen.
Okay, I will do that.
We'll also need some good walking shoes and spare clothes too. And I also suggest you to bring a raincoat as the chances of rain during that day are pretty high. By the way, do you have a mobile phone?
Yes, I do have a mobile phone.
In that case, bring that along so that we can keep in touch easily.
Provided the mobile works.
Yeah, that's the point.
Do I need a map?
No, not really. I don't think you need to do any map reading.
Okay, see you on Monday. Thanks for letting me know. You have some time to check your answers. We move on to section 2. You will hear an extract from radio program called Consumer's Choice, which gives advice to the consumers on how to make complaints. You have some time to look at questions 15 to 25. So here we begin. Hello everyone. Welcome again to Consumer's Choice, which is the last in our present series. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's right. But we'll be back again after summer break with the new series We'll tell you more about that later. But first, in today's program, we start off with the missing photographs. We'll tell you a story of Miss Patty Ching, one of our listeners will. We'll tell you how she has qualified our Consumer of the Month award with her determination.
Thank you. Well, Miss Petty Chang went on a holiday to Europe last month. This was her first ever trip abroad and one for which she's been saving for 10 years. Her tour took her around 12 countries in 21 days. And being a keen photographer, she took lots of photographs, 10 rolls of films to be exact, about 360 photographs. When Patty got back home, she gave all her photos to top class photo services for developing, and they vanished. She never saw them again. Of course, she was furious with the company and complained. They apologized and offered her compensation, 10 free rolls of films. This made her even more angry, and she rejected this completely inadequate offer and asked for $2,000. The company refused her request. So Patty wrote them a letter telling them to pay up in 10 days, or she would take them to the court. She received no reply. So she did take them to the court. But 2 days before the case was due to be heard, she received a check for $2,000. Top class had obviously made their minds up on how the judge would decide. Patty's case provides a lesson to all of us. If we want our rights as consumers, we have to fight for them. So, for her determination and spirit, we name Patty our Consumer of the Month.
Thank you. And now I would like to deal with the problem that many of our listeners write about, sale prices. When we go to a sale and see a sign on something saying 50% off or $300 reduced to 100, how do we know the prices really have been reduced? One of our listeners, Mr. Elwin Locke, tells his story. In a department store where I sometimes shopped, I saw a leather belt priced at $100, too expensive to me. But I liked it and thought I might buy it next time the store had a sale. The store did have a sale, and I went back to look for the belt. It was there all right, but the ticket on it now read $200 reduced to $150. The sale price was actually higher than the normal. What can we as consumers do in case like this? The answer to Elvin's question is that at the moment, all we can do is to complain to the store's management and bring these cases to the attention of the public. Bad publicity might help to put a stop to this dishonest practice. Of course, making a fuss at the faulty goods or bad service is never easy. Most people dislike making a fuss, but if something you have bought is faulty or does not do what was claimed for it, you are not asking for a favor to get it right. It is the shopkeeper's responsibility to take the complaint seriously and to replace or repair a faulty article or put right poor service because he is the person with whom you have entered into an agreement. The manufacturer may have a part to play, but that comes later. So it's quite proper and reasonable to make a complaint about faulty goods or bad service.
Well, what do you think is the right way to do that?
Well, the most important thing about making complaints, I think, is that they should be made to a responsible person in authority. Go back to the shop where you bought the goods, taking with you any receipts you may have. Ask to see the shop assistant in a large store. In a small store, the assistant may also be the owner, or you can complain directly. In a chain store, ask to see the manager. If you telephone, ask the name of the person who handles your inquiry. Otherwise, you may never find out who dealt with the complaint later. Even the bravest person finds it difficult to stand up in a group of people to complain. So, if you do not want to do it in person, write a letter. Stick to the facts and keep a copy of what you write. At this stage, you should give any receipt numbers, but you should not need to give receipts or other papers to prove you bought the article. If you are not satisfied with the answer you get, or if you do not get a reply, write to the managing director of the firm, shop, or organization. Be sure to keep copies of your own letters and any you receive.
Well, thank you for your advice. It's nice for every consumer to take an action when he or she gets bad goods or services. And of course, the consumer's choice will continue to press for the government to bring in laws similar to those in other countries to protect consumers by making it illegal to cheat them in this way. And now I would like to tell you about our new customer hotline, which came into operation last month. So this is the end of section 2. You have some time to check your answers. And after some time, after 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to share the answers with you. So here is the list of answers for you. You can check your answers. And if you like the video, please make sure you like it and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, everyone.